Hi, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Bates, and I am making this video for you to help you and your parents get logged onto Raz-Kids. I know that you may have used this program before or you may not. This is a quick refresher to help you get logged onto Raz-Kids so you can complete your assignments for your teacher. All right, so the first thing you need to do is you need to go to Raz-Kids.com, and you see it up here, Raz-Kids.com. And a great way to remember how to get back to that site is to bookmark it. So if you come over here to the star in the search bar, it says bookmark this tab. So click on that star, and it's going to ask you where you want to put it. If you put it in your bookmarks bar, it will show up right here. I just don't have any room in my bookmarks bar, but it'll show up right there for you, so it'll be easy for you to access the next time that you need to go into Raz-Kids. See, it's right there on mine. Okay, so once you get logged into Raz-Kids, you're going to click on Kids Login, the green square. And this is my class, but you are going to need to log in with your teacher's name. So I'm going to go to Change Teacher, just so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so you're going to type in your teacher's username. So whatever the username is that your teacher provided you with, you're going to type that in there. And eventually, once you log in, the next time you log in, it should automatically take you to that site and to that teacher's page. Or if it doesn't, it should have it down here, just like mine is here. But I'm going to log back into mine so we can go through. Okay, and so we see all of the students' names. Every student is going to have their own shape and their own color. We are going to click on Jackson. He is our test student. And you may have a picture password. You may have two pictures that are your password, or you might have a word that is your password. It's up to you what your teacher has decided, and your teacher will let you know that. Okay? And this is also at the point where if you clicked the wrong name, you can also change that back to that point as well. But Jackson has a cat as a password, so I'm going to click go. Okay, and when you log in, you might see a couple different spaceships here. This is the spaceship that will include your assignments. These are books that your teacher has assigned to you. Now, with my students, what I tell them is on days when we're not together, whether we're not in school or we're not doing a Zoom meeting, their job is to read one of their assigned books. Your teacher will tell you what she wants you to work on. Okay, so if we go in here, Jackson has an assignment, and it'll show it right here. This is the assignment that he needs to complete. You will listen to it, you will read it, and you will take the quiz. Right, and we'll go back. You may also have some spaceships up here. Jackson does not, but if your teacher has assigned you an assessment, it might be a sight word assessment, it might be a lit or sound assessment, it might be reading a passage from a book and recording yourself so your teacher can hear you reading. That will be in a spaceship that would be floating above here. You may also have one here. This would be a library that you can go read lots of different books. Not all teachers have that available. I don't have that available for my students, but that might be something you see on yours. So where most of the books are is in your level up spaceship. So your teacher will assign you a level, and the books that are in here are books that are at that level. So these are books that you can read without help. Okay? And you'll see under each book you have 3 different icons. You have headphones, like I said before, that's when you are going to listen to the book. The open book means you're going to read the book, and the question, which is grayed out right now, means that that's the quiz that you're going to take. You cannot do that quiz until you've completed the other 2 parts, and you don't get credit for that book until you've done all of the parts. Your teacher might tell you to read the book first and then listen to it, or listen to it and then read it. It's up to your particular teacher, and you will find out from your teacher what she or he would like you to do first. So you've got all of these great books. You can pick whichever one you'd like to read. Up here, it shows you your progress to getting to the next level. So it says 45 tasks left. That doesn't mean 45 books. It means 45 listens, 45 reads, and 45 quizzes. So that does not mean how many books you have left. And then up here you'll see we've got stars. Stars are what you earn for listening, for reading, and taking the quiz. You get more stars the more books you complete. And if you get a quiz 100% correct, you get more stars. Okay. And if you don't get the quiz correct, the great thing is you can go back into the book, reread, find where your mistake is, and you can go back and complete that quiz. Okay. So let's go in and look at a book and see what that would look like. Okay. So we're going to listen to the book Athletes. And you can see right here, the listen is worth 10 stars. The read is worth 50 stars. The quiz is worth 150 stars.
Athletes. Written by Russ Booyock. Focus question. What do athletes do? Some
and I'm going to take you back so you can see a lot of books. Let me go back again. A lot of books will give you words to practice before you read the book, so you can look at them and say, oh, those are going to be in the book. And the wonderful thing is, oh, not in here. We'll go back. When you go to listen to that book, oh, and if you see that little yellow flag, that means you may have started that activity, but you didn't complete it. So you will only get a check mark if you've been all the way through. And you can't just click through the book. You have to listen to it completely, and you have to read it completely before it will let you take the quiz. So let's go, say I read that, I listened to the whole book. Now I'm going to go read Athletes. And the cool thing is you can record yourself reading at any time. It doesn't just have to be an assignment or an assessment. You can read to your teacher at any time. Okay? You can also use the drawing tools to highlight something in the book, to circle a word that was hard for you. You also have a little notebook where you can take notes. If there was a word that was tricky or there was information that you thought was really interesting, you can do that and share that with your teacher. And this is where you can answer some of those focus questions, is in your journal. Okay, so we're going to go to next. Okay. So now you are reading this book on your own. So if you come to this word and you're like, oh, no, I can't remember that word. Click on that word. And you've got some choices here. Sorry, my icon's in the way. You can hear the word.
Some.
You can highlight the word. Okay, so you can remember, oh, that's the word some. Maybe I'm having some trouble with that word. And then you can also take it away as well. And then you can add that word to your word journal. Okay. So if that's a word that you want to remember, or it's something that was giving you a hard time. So now that I know that word, I can say some athletes run. And if you're recording that for your teacher, it will record that. Otherwise, you are just reading out loud. Do not read in your head. Read out loud in a whisper voice, because that's the best way that you can hear yourself. Because in your head, you can make it say whatever you want, but when you read it out loud, you can hear where your mistakes are, or you can hear that it doesn't sound right. Because I know that as you're reading, you should be thinking as well. All right, so we're going to go back to level up. Right? And see, once again, we see our little yellow flag there because we know that we haven't finished it. Let's go back and we'll look at a quiz here that's already been completed. Okay, so we see that Baby Animals has already had a quiz. We're going to go in. This is what the quiz looks like. Okay, and it will read it to you. At certain levels, it will read to you. As you get into higher level books, it's not going to read it for you anymore. This is what a quiz looks like at a lower level, reading level. And you will start to get more questions, and the questions will get more difficult as you go up in levels. So let's listen to what the question will be like.
Which animal is the name of a baby animal? Calf. Cow.
Okay, so it will read the answer for you. And when you get done, let's see if it'll let me click through. No, because we haven't. But when you have clicked through and you've completed all of your questions, you're going to click done, and it will let you know how you did on the quiz. Oh, let me go back to that one more time. Let me show you something else here. What's really cool, when you're in the middle of the quiz, if you get stuck and you don't know the answer, I love this. You can go back to the book and find that answer, which is awesome because that's what good readers do. They go back into the text and they find those answers for the questions that they're being asked. Okay? So don't feel like you're doing anything wrong if you do that or cheating. That's what good readers do. Go back and find that answer. So, I'm going to show you something else here. Okay? Down here in this blue box, when we go back to your main screen here, you're going to have some messages. So I'll show you, okay? So because when Jackson completed his first book, he got a new badge. So as you read and you complete quizzes, you get badges. And it'll show you when you get a badge and you get stars and everything. It's really cool. And you can gain those stars and see how many stars you get. And you might also get a message from your teacher. So if you did an assessment, you did really well, your teacher write you a message and say, great job, give you extra stars. Or if there's something that your teacher noticed in your reading or your assessment, your teacher might leave you a message there as well. Okay, and then we'll go to the My Stats. Stats will show you overall how many stars you've earned. Badges will show you the badges that you've earned. See, look at all those badges you can earn. The only one we have so far is the first book. And then your reading shows you how many books you've completed, how many readings you've done, how many listens you've done, how many quizzes, and it'll show you what you've done for this week as well. So that gives you a lot of up-to-date information. And just remember, anything that you do on Raz-Kids, your teacher will know. So if you don't complete a quiz or you don't complete an assignment, your teacher is going to know. So, but what's cool is you can keep earning stars over and over and over again. So that's really, really cool. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, getting to know how to navigate Raz-Kids. I think you will really enjoy it, and I hope that you have fun using it and happy reading.